Hi guys, welcome to MARTiALYOU. I'm Sean Hill, and today I wanted to make a very quick video on defensive footwork. If that's something you're interested in, keep watching. Okay guys, let's start by breaking down some of the basic movements that you might use and combine to come up with some defensive footwork. And the first thing I want to show you is a traditional slice that we learn in Taekwondo. So if you look at me from the side and I'm in a fighting stance with my right leg back, all I'm going to do in my fighting stance is I'm barely going to shift my weight to the front, hopefully not telegraphing that motion. And then I'm going to just ever so slightly pick up my rear foot so it doesn't have any friction on the floor. And I'm going to push back. So we have an opponent coming in or moving towards us. We want to get more leg distance, okay, for kicking. And I'm just going to shift. I'm going to exaggerate this at first so you can see. I'm going to shift, and then I'm going to barely pick up my leg, and then I'm going to push backwards, just to get a little distance between me and the opponent. Maybe they're getting a little too close. I'm not comfortable with it. My leg is longer. They're going to stuff me by getting so close that I can't kick. Taekwondo sparring, you can't really, score punching. Maybe that's changed, I don't know, but when we punched to the Hogu, and we obviously in Taekwondo we can't punch to the face, but you can in other competitions, it doesn't do you any good. So you're always trying to work leg distance. You're always trying to keep enough space between you and your opponent so that you can throw a kick. So we're here, I'm in a fighting stance. All I'm going to do is, and you can do this while you're bouncing, which I typically don't do during sparring. I like to stay on the ground because I don't know how many times you get caught while you're in the upward bounce. Some people are very fast. You've got to like use everything you can and stay rooted to the ground. So I'm here, and then suddenly my opponent's coming in, getting close. Oop, I'm gonna get some distance. Let me get some distance. Here, I'm gonna switch my feet, see it from the other side. Got my right in front. I'm here. We're moving around. We might be doing this little step thing, checking each other, trying to make the other person twitch. And then suddenly, I'm going to go back. I'm just going to try to shift my weight without telegraphing too much and move back. You'll see my back foot come up. Okay. The next one is the step back. Traditionally, you might be taught, I'm going to put my right in front. It's this long step, stepping back. You're pushing off the front, push off the front, step back. Looking at me from the front like this. Here, fighting stance, boom, I'm going back. Okay, I don't use this as much unless I'm combining it with something, but I will use it if I'm going offline or I'm doing some other kind of fancy footwork. Here, it's to get more distance all at once, or to combine it with a kick technique. So if your right is in front and you are really good with your right leg and you want to do a nice powerful right roundhouse, rather than just chamber and kick, you might want to draw that leg back to get more power. So here, and then come back. So you're doing this step back and then kick forward. But let's work on our defensive movement to get our body where we want it. We're always trying to get that space where we're comfortable. We don't want to get too close and get stuffed so we can't do anything. Then the rep's got to break us up. So just here, step. Okay. Here, step. And you can make this fast. Okay, and then lesser taught is just kind of this step here where you're here, just bring it in. I think that's more what people naturally do, is they'll do this kind of thing. But then you got to speed it up because everything's quick. When you're sparring, everything's fast. I don't think I've ever used like chain step where you cross over, you know, unless I'm gonna load up for a kick. And then we have offline, going offline. You can do this defensively, you can do this offensively, but in the context of this video, we're gonna be doing it defensively. So the way I like to do this is to throw my weight. So a lot of people, or a lot of instructors, will teach drawing. You draw back, go off to the side, okay? Other leg, if my right is in front, draw back, go off to the side. And that's a good breakdown. But eventually what you start doing is you start to, instead of doing this draw back, going off, you just take this leg and you throw it. Throw the leg, push off. So the back leg's gonna push, the front leg, I'm gonna throw it. I'm just gonna toss the weight. I'm gonna use the mass of my leg to kind of bring me over. Same thing with the other side. Here, draw back. Instead of this traditional move, I'm just gonna pick this front leg up, my left, and I'm gonna throw it and push. You know, then it starts to just go like this. You know, you gotta be quick, you gotta be fast. And then there is on the same side, draw back, and then go diagonal. Here, draw, diagonal. And there's so many variations of this drawing back, but what I typically like to emphasize is just throwing your weight around. You just wanna move your body. Get good at throwing your mass around. You know, just throw it. So you gotta practice that instead of all these broken down steps, which is what you learn in the beginning, because you have to learn how to manipulate your body. So everything is taught in these steps and then they start to flow together. So I love to turn this into this. And then you can come back in. So if I throw my body, you can just come back with a switch kick, or you know, anything. You can come up with anything. Now let's take a look at some of this on a bag so we can throw some kicks. And through the magic of video, poof, here's a bag. All right, so if we're doing our basic slicing, what I love to do is I like to get right up in the face of the bag because it doesn't hit back. So you can get right up in there. And then practice your slicing, you know, moving back. This is your opponent. This is an uncomfortable distance. You know, this is punch to the hogu, and if you're in a different competition, punch to the face. You know, you don't want to be that close. You don't want to be within that arm's distance, at least traditional Taekwondo. So I'm always trying to keep my distance like leg distance. So I'm here, slice back. And this is more comfortable for me because I can, you know, almost see something coming from a kick, and then I can launch a kick or execute something. So practice getting right up to the bag, getting away from it. Right up to the bag, this is just that slice. Here, just slicing back, and you know, change it up so you're not always slicing the same distance. So you can just slice a little bit, because you might want to come back in, slice a lot, you know, get some comfortable distance. Same thing with the stepping. So I'm here, I got my right leg back. This might be, for a lot of people's stance, I'm within punching distance. Just kind of want to get out of the way. And if my right leg is in front, and again, we're here. And, you know, famous application for this for Taekwondo is stepping and then throwing a kick. So you're stepping back, launching your strike, okay? And then we have our offline, okay? So if I'm here, I want to come around this side of the body. Maybe they're throwing a push kick at me, and I'm here, it's going to go offline. Now I'm over here. So they're coming at me with a strike. I'm just chilling out, off one, push them off. Or you can do your draw back, draw offline, maybe come in with a kick. So there's all kinds of combinations that you end up doing once you start playing with this footwork. So I can step, slice, offline. So you're always mixing it up. Back in, get them off balance. Start combining everything so you can slice, step, come back in, play with it. Don't be afraid to play with it. One of the lesser taught, kind of frowned upon motions, I remember learning this first year of Taekwondo, is the turn tail and run, or make it look like you turn tail and run. So you're here, you might have your right leg in front, and you're literally going to turn, step, and then come back into something. You don't use this all the time and barely use it. It's just something for your pocket so that you can pull something out. Here, just like you're going to retreat and then come back. But that's frowned upon because you usually don't want to turn your back. Okay. So practice moving away from the target. Gain a comfortable distance for yourself. Just mix it up. Here. And you can even use that little step where you're just trying to get a little distance. Nothing complex. This is all basic, foundation stuff. So you get these basics down, and once your style is developed and you're moving around, you'll seem or you'll feel fluid in your motion. So it'll be more natural. Because we're used to just kind of walking around. And you'll see this in MMA where people, they're just kind of walking around, throw a couple punches. This is very relaxed. It doesn't take a lot of energy. But if you're sparring in a sport like Olympic style Taekwondo or even karate, you gotta be fast because it's all about points. No one's worried about devastating damage, although you can get knocked out. You're not worried about elbows and somebody taking you down. So you gotta be quick because everybody's like, this is what they train. They're just like, you gotta, you wanna get out of the way, make your moves. It's all about speed and movement. And I would rather not get hit by moving my body out of the way than have to block something. It doesn't make sense to me to block when I can move my body and do it efficiently and not have to take any damage at all. That is my mentality when I'm sparring. I don't want to get hit, so I just want to move, get out of the way, and then maybe come in later, and get my point. Just move. Learn how to move. That's the whole premise of this video. So if you have any questions, leave them in a comment down below. If you have any suggestions, leave them in a comment below. If you want to know any particular thing. And never stop learning. Never stop growing, never stop achieving, and never stop unleashing your potential. I'll see you in the next video. I can do this all day. I can do this all day. Back up on the run.